Naperville is moving fast right now, and if you're thinking about moving here, buying here, investing here, or you already own a property in Naperville, you need to understand what's happening on the ground right now. Because this is not the same Naperville from a couple years ago, not even close. There's serious money being poured into the city right now. New housing, new infrastructure, new developments, new communities, and that window to get ahead is getting smaller faster than most people realize. So stay with me till the end, because there's one development at the end that I want to talk about in this video that a lot of people don't even know that's happening right now. And if you care about where the market is headed, you're going to want to hear it. I'm Donnie Fields, Army veteran, former Army Ranger, Chicago realtor and real estate investor right here in Chicago. I'm also the founder of Vet Home Collective, a network built to help veterans and military families use their VA benefits to buy homes, make smart moves, and actually build wealth through real estate. So whether you're relocating to the Chicago area, making a PCS move, or just looking where to plant your roots next, we've got boots on ground and we've got your six. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, because I put out weekly content on the Chicago suburbs, VA loans, disability, investing, relocation. This channel is for people that want to make the right move, not just any move. So let's go ahead and get into it. Number one, why Naperville projects are making this a different conversation. Now, before we jump into specific projects, let me set the table for you, because context does matter. Naperville has always been a strong market. Great schools, safe neighborhoods, clean communities, easy metro access to Chicago, strong job market. Now, none of this stuff is new. Naperville has had those fundamentals for years, but what's happening now is different. This isn't just a suburb holding its value, it's a suburb actively upgrading itself, and they're doing it at scale. You see, the city of Naperville proposed $190 million in capital projects in 2026 alone. That's a 6% increase over the 2025 capital improvement budget. Now, we're talking about underground electrical systems, new sidewalks, road expansions, transit improvements, all the stuff that makes a city easier to live in, easier to move through, and more attractive long-term. Now, just to be clear, this is not just maintenance. That's a city making a decision to raise its own standards. And when the city starts putting that kind of money into infrastructure and quality of life improvements, that's telling you something. It's telling you that demand is strong and not going away. It's telling you that the people that are running the city are not just managing the city, they're planning for tomorrow. So everything new coming to Naperville is not by accident. This is what happens when a high demand market starts building for the next chapter. Number two, new construction explosion. Now, what is actually getting built? Now, this is the part that buyers and investors need to pay close attention to, because the new construction picture in Naperville right now is pretty significant. As of 2026, there's 471 active development projects indexed in 2026, or right now. 471. That's just not one or two subdivisions that's popping up. That's a city that's going through a transformation across different housing, price points, and buyer needs. So let me give you a few examples. In South Naperville, City Council recently approved 2 new residential communities. The first one is Everly Trace, which brings 68 town and row homes from MI Homes on 111th Street. The second is another project with 14 additional row homes on the former Site 1 landscape supply site. Now, here's what's interesting. These developments are targeting what developers are calling move down buyers. That means people who are in the next chapter of their life. Maybe they don't want the big house anymore. Maybe they don't want all the maintenance, but they still want quality, location, and a nice place to live. And that's a buyer segment I work with all the time. The problem is supply for that type of buyer has always been limited. So when builders start creating products specifically for that group, you need to pay attention. And then you got Route 59. The Outlet Naperville was approved by City Council in April of 2026. That's 236 new apartment units coming to Route 59 and the 75th Street corridor. And here's the part that matters. Multiple developers were competing for that same site before Atlas got approved. And when more than one serious developer wants the same piece of land, that's a market talking, and you need to listen. And that tells you that they all see the demand and the future growth. They see people continuing to want to live and move to Naperville. And when it comes to new construction townhomes and mid-price options, you're seeing entry points start around $390,000, going all the way up to $1 million plus for luxury builds. So there's product across different price points right now. And that's part of what makes these new developments so intriguing because they're not for new buyers. They're for first-time buyers, move-down buyers, luxury buyers, renters, investors, all looking at the same market at the same time. Number three, the build-to-rent community that nobody's talking about. This is the one I told you to stay for, and I meant it. In October 2025, Peak Line closed on a deal with Lincoln Property Company to build the Claire. This is a 90-unit build-to-rent townhome community in Naperville. Now, construction started in Q4 of 2025, with the first move-ins expected to happen right now. Separate from that, Lincoln Property Company has the residence at Naper and Plank. Now that project includes 34 townhomes and 56 row homes. These are 2 and 3 bedroom units ranging from about 1,600 to 2,000 square feet. Now that project was approved by Naperville City Council and the first units are already available. Now here's why that matters. Honestly, this might be one of the most important points of this entire video. When institutional capital starts building rent-to-own communities in this market, now I'm not talking about buying own homes and turning them into rentals, but building brand new communities from the ground up, specifically to rent. That's a very loud signal because institutions don't do that in markets they think are falling apart. They don't do that in markets that they believe are getting weaker. They do that in markets where they believe that demand is going to stay strong for a long time. So when big money starts betting on Naperville rentals, you need to pay attention because they're just not doing it based on a feeling. They're doing it based on data. They're looking at projection. They're looking at income, population trends, housing demands, rental demands, job growth, and long-term stability. And their conclusion is simple. People are going to keep wanting to move and live in Naperville. Now for buyers who want to get ahead of that institutional curve demand, this is the time to start looking. So if you're thinking about moving to Naperville or anywhere in the western suburbs, whether you use the VA loan, conventional loans, trying to figure out the divestment angle, give me a call so we can plan this together because we do strategy calls where we map out what makes sense for you. The link is right in the description below. But let's get back to it. Number 4, infrastructure, follow the money. I want to spend a minute here because this is the one thing that most buyers completely ignore. Honestly, it's one of the things that could change a neighborhood's value trajectory almost more than anything else. Now, Naperville is in the final phase of the North Aurora Road Expansion Project. $52 million infrastructure investment. We're talking about widening the roads to 5 lanes, adding multi-use trains, replacing a 110-year-old railroad bridge, improving the drainage and lighting across the entire corridor. Now, the project is backed by $40 million of federal and state funding, and the final phase is already underway and expected to be completed at the end of 2027. Now, think about what that means for area along the corridor. Less congestion, better access, better lighting, better drainage, and a road that actually functions the way a growing city needs it to function. Because Naperville is changing fast in ways that show up in home values later. Now, a project like this is not just about traffic, it's about what comes next. It's about a development that follows better access. It's about the buyers that start choosing the area because they can actually move through it with ease. It's about the long-term improvement over the entire corridor. And in real estate, you always follow the infrastructure. And money usually follows right behind that. That was true on missions, and that's true in real estate. Follow the movement, follow the money. Follow where the city is investing. Now, what this means for buyers right now, let me give you the real talk. What all this means if you're thinking about buying in Naperville. The median sale price as of March of 2026 is around $540,000, which is down from its peak of $670,000 we saw in mid-2025. Homes are spending an average of 46 days on market, and they're getting around 3 offers on average. So what does that tell us? This is not a panic market. This is not a market falling apart. This is a market that has pulled back from its peak and starting to settle in a more sustainable range. And that's exactly what window serious buyers should be looking at. Because when everyone else is waiting for the perfect time, the smart buyers are looking at the bigger picture. So should you move to Naperville and buy right now, or should you wait? Here's what I'll tell you directly. With 471 active development projects, 190 million in city capital investments, major infrastructure improvements, and institutional money moving into a build-to-rent communities here in Naperville, the direction of the market is pretty clear. And waiting in a market like this will only cost you more in the long run. Maybe not dramatically overnight, but little by little, month by month, as new construction sets higher price values. Now, as better infrastructure brings more attention, as demand keeps coming to the market that already has limited supply, the entry point is now. And I don't believe it's going to look the same 18 months from now. So there it is, guys. Everything new coming to Naperville, Illinois in 2026, and why Naperville is changing fast in many ways that matters to buyers, veterans, investors, and anyone thinking about making a smart move in the Western Chicago suburbs or anywhere in Chicagoland area. With 471 active developmental projects, 190 million in capital investments, 52 million road improvement project underway, institutionals building right here, choosing Naperville, new construction across multiple price points for first-time buyers and high luxury end builds. This is not just a suburb that's sitting still. It's a suburb that's building something, and the people who buy during this phase are usually the ones that look back in 5 years and say, I'm glad I didn't wait. So if you're thinking about moving to Naperville, Downers Grove, Elmhurst, or anywhere in the Chicagoland area, and you want someone in your corner who actually has a strategy for your specific situation, I'm the guy. VA loan, conventional, investment, property, we've got the playbook. The link to book a call is in the description below. So let's build your plan. I'm Donnie Fields with Vet Home Collective, and I'll see you on the next video.